Hey, my lovely goal-getters. Welcome to the Moms Making Money Show. I'm your host, Amie Pederson, business mentor and confidence coach for the emerging boss mom. It's my mission to help amazing women just like you up-level yourself and your business because you are meant for more than wiping boogers and folding laundry. I'm also a wife, mother, urban farmer, influencer, green juice enthusiast, and an unapologetic lover of cowboy boots. I can't wait to help you grow your business by sharing my tips, tricks, proven business strategy, experience, and incredible guests. Hang on tight and enjoy the show. Today's episode of the Moms Making Money Show is brought to you by the Moms Making Money Mastermind. This is a one-stop shop specifically for mompreneurs ready to turn up the heat on their home-based business and really get to that point where they're earning that $5K, $10K per month and take everything from their mindset to their income to the people around that they surround themselves by to the next level, thanks to a unique and obviously tasty blend of self-paced online learning, high-level mentorship, and mastermind of like-minded boss babes. This program is going to walk you through the actual proven steps, aka my recipe, to launch and grow your badass home-based business from branding to social media mastery to everything, to hitting those goals. With the Moms Making Money Mastermind, you're going to receive a really outside-the-box approach that gives you customized coaching, full email support, personalized reviews of your homework, group coaching calls, private coaching calls, live Facebook Q&As, hot seat coaching, everything you need so you can get the personalized guidance that you need to break through the barriers like they are no big deal. But there's nothing cookie cutter about this. So, like any recipe, these are recipes that you can take and tweak to suit your own unique preferences. Every step of the way, you're going to receive guidance from yours truly and your new fellow high vibe entrepreneur friends and biz besties so that you can fine-tune each step of the recipe inside to fit your unique brand essence, or as I like to say, add your own special sauce. It's literally everything you need to launch and grow your business so you can stand out, make waves, and a solid income all in one place. Basically, the whole enchilada, if you will. You're going to leave this program feeling clear on your purpose, your unique approach, your brand, and all the other ingredients necessary to whip up a successful online coaching business. Or as I like to say, it's basically the complete 5-star experience, and it contains a loaded menu of top-notch recipes that will take you and your business from sous chef to executive chef in 3 to 6 months flat. So we're going to take it one recipe at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. How does that sound? Again, you're going to be finding absolute clarity in your message, your mission, and your ideal client, creating a solid, identifiable, standout brand with complete gorgeous graphics, ads, and content, everything you need. And you're going to start making consistent income with super streamlined business approach and business activities that you actually love. A business that's working for you. You're going to be doing work that fulfills your desires in life. You're going to have finally paying clients, the perfect fit clients seeking you as their coach. You're going to be learning to lead with passion and confidence from a place of true alignment and running your business in a way that feels good. You're going to learn how to sell. And we have brought in an amazing sales expert, the one and only Carrie Brady, who has already closed over $750,000. And let me just tell you, you guys, she has a following of less than 5,000 people on Instagram. So it can be done. She has given us as an added bonus her small audience sales vault. So like seriously taking it up to a whole new level. And she's also our head of recruitment. So you are going to be owning your brilliance and becoming known as the expert in your niche. You're going to be creating actual success. You know, the kind that other people, including those mom shamers who give you the side eye when you're bringing up, running a business, one of those types of businesses, and really figuring out how to truly balance the hard work, that practical back office stuff with the woo-woo and the front end mindset and confidence stuff, all while staying high vibe and cultivating unshakable confidence and a magnetic mindset. Because let's face it, confidence sells. And when you come from a place of unshakable confidence and an unshakable why, all of your high vibeness, your clients are going to feel it and it's going to magnetize them to you. So this is for people who are serious about really hitting and growing their business and hitting their goals. I am accepting applications from now until the doors close on July 14th. So be sure that you don't waste any time. I will provide the link in the comments. If you want to type it in now, it's www.cf.amiepederson.com/mastermind. And you can hop in. It's free to apply. We are getting lots of applications, so you're definitely not going to want to waste any time hopping in and filling out your application. I will see you guys in there, and I'm so excited to see what you create. Ladies, you are in for a special treat. I have the Kathy Stowell. She is the Chief Dream Midwife of Mama Bliss Coaching School, and she's going to take us through a journey today. So, Kathy, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can tell us what it means to be a Chief Dream Midwife, because it's not the medical midwife like you guys are all thinking, and kind of give us a little bit of a history of your journey to becoming an entrepreneur.
Sure. It's totally a huge creative leap for sure, calling myself a midwife. I'm taking full-on creative license there. But it is sort of related to how I ended up doing what I am doing today. Way back in the day, when my husband and I first got married, we knew we wanted to have kids within a couple of years. I was already pushing 30 something. I was like, okay, the clock's a ticking. So I went in for a deep womb cleaning. So real holistic check-in. I knew there was some family patterns I didn't want to pass on to our future kiddos. So started, well, it's funny. First, I went in for acupuncture, and I even went on a cleanse. And then it was funny, on the cleanse, I asked the guy who put me on it, I'm like, is this cleanse supposed to make you miss your period? And he was like, no. And I'm like, oh, darn. So anyways, I missed. She was a little bit of a surprise. But the acupuncturist, though, was really the catalyst in terms of my journey towards being an entrepreneur in the sense of what I'm doing today. He gave me the assessment on our first visit that there was some blockage, energy block, in my throat chakra. So he said we had to blast through that. And the way to do it was to dive into some sort of creative play every day. So I started doing classic creative, crafty stuff. Like I asked my mother-in-law to teach me how to knit again. And that was just the gateway crafty drug. And then it turned into sewing. And I just went crazy painting, like all the crafty things. And then I set up a craft den in our house, and it was really hard to pull me away from there. So when we did have our daughter, our firstborn, when she was about a year old, we decided to go for the big dream of setting up a hobby farm, like we were chit-chatting about a little bit. And we moved 8 hours from our hometown out to the boonies. And so I started a blog as a way for the family to keep tabs on our adventures, but also to be involved in this craft community, to share, what I created, etc. So I actually just fell big time in love with the exercise of blogging on a regular basis. It was a really beautiful way for me to explore what was important in my days. So I would just be walking around, taking pictures of everything we were up to. And every few days I would look at my collection of photos and I would pick my favorite one, usually the one that was most flattering for me.
I can relate to that.
And then I would just use it as a starting off point. Around that time, too, I was exploring Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. So I was really having fun with morning pages. So this just turned into a morning page that these really cool, like-minded mamas I was meeting around the world were reading. So it was really nice to have that, almost like journaling, but having some like feedback from it. And so I knew I can stop blogging. And so I began brainstorming on ways I can monetize, and I experimented a bunch of different ways. They're all fun, but they weren't sustainable. They just didn't have that long-term success rate. So eventually I just sat with the question that my followers were asking me, and that led me to decide to get coaching, because they were asking me, like, how is it that you do all that you do? And I meditated on that, and I decided, the secret really is tapping into my mama bliss. So I got certified at a couple of different coaching training programs to really accommodate my dream client, which is moms wanting to tap into their bliss. And then I started coaching them through my coaching approach called Mama Bliss Coaching. And many of my clients were, I want to do what you're doing. And thus, Mama Bliss Coaching School was born, and thus the title Head Dream Midwife, because I do feel it is a birthing process, getting really quiet, breathing through it. I'm so into birth. I had 2 beautiful home births. I love the birthing process. So I use the analogy of birth almost too much. It gets kind of weird sometimes.
Well, I don't think it's weird. I think
okay, good.
Only weird if you're not a mom, right?
That's true. Maybe. I don't know why. I'm just very passionate about just being a woman and the ability to, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So you started your blog when your daughter was a baby. Now she's about 14 years old. So you're not new to this game. You're like a seasoned veteran. And I say that in like such a good way, that you've got it figured out. You've been able to monetize your blog. And I think that that's like the ultimate goal for everybody who starts a blog, is how, to grow it enough to actually earn real money being a blogger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like living the dream, not to be a cheese ball, but it's kind of like, like you just said, my daughter's 14 now. She's heading off to high school next year, and we're filling out the forms, like, what courses do you want to take? What are you going to do after high school? So it's just, all I hope for her is that she finds some true work, like I was just so blessed to, that I can't wait for Mondays. I love waking up, diving into my to-do list for the day. It's just, I honestly feel like I've won the life lottery for sure.
I totally agree. I like Mondays too. I have my little guy. He's coming in, sneaking he's my assistant, one of my assistants.
See? Yeah, I'm totally grooming my daughter to be my assistant as well.
What do you feel is the most rewarding part of being your own boss, being in business for yourself, and then helping other women do the same?
Mm-hmm. Rewarding the freedom to create my own hours. And what is really rewarding is just the manifestation bit, meaning just daydreaming, having a vision, and just putting a plan together to realize it. I find that really exciting. For a while there, like way back a few years ago, the grandparents kept giving my kids jigsaw puzzles for Christmas, and they wouldn't play with it. I'm like, fine, I will. And I'm addicted. So every year, not Christmas, I get so excited because now they give me the jigsaw puzzle. And as I do it, I'm like, why do I love this so much? And I think it's because it's kind of related to this entrepreneurial journey in terms of, I love seeing how the pieces all fit together. And I just find that really exciting. And what is really rewarding, as the second part of your question, is just, it's rewarding to be able, I'm pretty empathetic. I have lots of empathy too. So I can easily put myself in other people's shoes, almost to a fault, like one of my kids are sick. I'm like, I get the exact same symptoms as them, like instantly. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, I can just easily put myself in their shoes, and I can help them because I know what works. I'm an idea machine. I have the coaching tools, and I am just a natural born teacher. It's really rewarding. it's almost like seeing them take flight, to see them soar and seeing them go on to pass on what I call the bliss balls. It's just like pass on that little piece of wisdom and practical tools, and offering the support that's often lacking in our culture these days, and the pace and just the way families are growing a little bit more isolated from each other. So supporting moms in their own journey, and all these particular, like discovering their niche within the realm of coaching. So it's really fun to see melding what their natural passions and interests are with a need out there in the world. And because I'm sure you realize or notice, is like there's lots of challenges in our journey. And I've worked with so many coaches that are they're geared for moms, but they're always focused on one particular area of transition. So I always share, in the past, I've worked with a homeschooling coach. I've worked with a time management coach when we had to leave our hobby farm to move back into the city. Mind you, it's like the booming metropolis of Nelson, BC, which is like 10,000 people. It's like, it was still like, it was very emotional. So I hired a moving coach for moms, because it's one of life's greatest stressors. There's so many
it is
many little stressors that add up. So the more support that we can get, it's a beautiful thing. So that's really rewarding to me, to see all these new Mama Bliss coaches take off with all these different specialty niches. That's really just really rewarding part for me as well.
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny, it's when you talk with people, I can pick up a Canadian accent a little bit because my husband's from BC. And so I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It kind of sounds like she's Canadian.
Totally.
Oh, too funny. That's obviously a complete side note. But so in your experience, I felt like I connected right away with you because our kids both don't go to public school. And without kind of going too far into that, do you feel like, in your opinion, as a creative yourself, that is kind of what led you to that alternative route?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. How that happened was when we moved out here, there was a really funky, cool alternative school. Unfortunately, before my daughter could get into it, it shut down for a couple of years. But anyways, long story short, in the meantime, I just fell in love with the Waldorf philosophy, partially because that's how they introduce the educational material. It's all about integrating the teachings first on a creative level. So for instance, they don't have textbooks in the Waldorf schools. Instead, they actually make them. So it's really beautiful. They call them the main lesson books. And the teacher teaches and then draws a beautiful picture on the blackboard, and the kids draw a picture, a similar picture, and then they actually write the text. There's so many aspects of it that really spoke to my soul in terms of mostly the creative piece, because it was that creative part had such a profound impact on the introduction of myself to the mothering journey, which in turn birthed me, like this person I am today, that I'm really just in awe of. So yeah, the creative piece I found really influenced our decision, and and then just having the ability, like I feel that there's so many ways that the creative component is why it's such a huge part of my own coaching philosophy. Like even when I was preparing to give birth, my husband and I took the prenatal class, Birthing from Within, and that is all about too exploring your fears around the birthing process with creative play and creative exercising, using all these different mediums. So that really influenced my decision to have creativity coaching as part of my tools that I pass on. So it also, I think, exercising our creative skills, it is just going to bring to the table a lot of problem-solving skills that I feel the world needs right now to think outside the box. So, funny enough, my friend, probably because we're in the grad committee together, we were talking about yeah, they just came back from their grad trip too. And just some of the remarks from the guides that they hired to take them on the sea kayaking trip. And they do say there's something different about these kids. And I wonder if it does come from just looking at it from a different angle, approaching learning from a different angle. I don't know. I've always actually, to be honest, been a bit of an alternative type person too. So I like to question the status quo. So when we took a moment to explore what our options were in the educational system, definitely Waldorf really spoke to us on a soul level.
Yeah, I love that. So we do Montessori. And my oldest son is going to start kindergarten next year. And one of the things I love besides like this hands-on stuff is that there's like no homework. Like they have a homework policy. And for them, I think it's I feel like it's less robotic in that it's not just, pump, 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 here's some information, take a test, pump, 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 test, But I love that in your guys' school system that they write their own text, because it's scientifically proven that when you actually like write something like with a pen or pencil onto a piece of paper, they are 5 times more likely to recall it later.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and even I feel that way like about journaling. Like when I journal, and maybe I'm old school, I don't know, but when I journal, I write it down like in an actual book and not type it out on my computer.
Yeah, I'm pretty, like, even with my coaching training, a lot of coaches out there, when they're taking notes, they just type on a Google Doc. And I tried that for a bit. I'm like, oh, that'd be a time saver, but I can't do it. I feel like it must be a takeaway too from my university days, because being in an auditorium and it's just listening to professor and just my hands, I wouldn't even think about it. It's just the way I personally, learn, I suppose. But there's so many, and you got me at a good time too, talking about this particular education, because it's her last year there. And so it's been a lot of reflection, but definitely I'm grateful. Just, it's just being really, just honoring the human development of the soul, and allowing, again, the kids the opportunity to play and get off school, and just keep them out of their heads for as long as possible, because God knows there's a lot of head time coming just around the corner.
Oh yeah. And so this podcast isn't a promotion for Montessori.
I know. It's just
but the reason I brought it up is because I feel like the coaching industry is an alternative way of learning how to run a business, how to earn money, how to do certain things in a much more creative way. So I actually had a reason for bringing it up, but don't you agree that like with the way things are so different and people feeling so different, and they want that individualized kind of hands-on, write it down type of approach instead of like, go to college. And no, not to say like don't go to college, but it's so much different than going to college and, in my opinion, learning a bunch of stuff that I'm never going to use again. Like I just don't use everything that I learned. I use a lot of it, but not everything. And I just feel like I've learned so much more and have retained so much more in this more creative way of learning things.
Absolutely. And actually, before she went to the Waldorf school, we were homeschooling, and we did use a Waldorf-based curriculum. But I was really turned on to the idea for a while there of unschooling for that very reason. It's just passion-led learning. If you have a vision, again, of how you want to serve, the world's our oyster in terms of finding online training or creating your own curriculum, either even just going to the library or choosing a mentor in your community. So absolutely, just again, get creative and think of how you can bring your gifts to the world and help others. And you can just like make your own made up degree in something.
Basically, I mean, really, you basically can. You get so much knowledge. But the thing that I feel like you get a lot of that I think a lot of people who don't go to college miss out on is that connection with other people. So it's like you have all those people who are alumni and they had their college roommate or they had their fraternity or sorority, sisters, and they have that connection with them because it was something they had in common and something they enjoyed doing together. Now it's like my biz besties came from a mastermind. And so there's still that connection component that's still possible, even if your route doesn't take you through college and university.
Oh, It's just crazy technology now. Absolutely. Like you probably saw your mastermind buddies like in a Zoom platform or whatever. And me too. I've been really blessed to meet a bunch of my students and biz buddies face to face. And it's just like, it's just the oddest thing. I'm like, you're exactly how I imagine you would look like, or, you know, you obviously see them through the screen, but three-dimensional. So you smell like I imagine. Like you just like, we live in some amazing times for sure. And it's something indescribable for sure.
I love that. And I love being able to do that. Tell us a little bit about your business and maybe like one of your all-time favorite things about being a business owner and a mentor.
Yeah, sure. So what I do is I teach moms who want to start coaching other moms in a 12-step modality called Mama Bliss Coaching School. So what we do, there's 3 ways to experience. I won't get into that, but essentially we begin by coaching yourself back to Mama Bliss, which is made up of 4 pillars. So we spend a whole lesson on coaching yourself to self-care. And then we spend the next lesson about the creativity piece, again, the healing powers and just a way to invite creative expression into your everyday. And then the third step is to get really clear on the values that you bring not only into your personal life, but also into your business. And finally, simplicity. So once we're clear on our values, we can then be discerning on what we invite into our homes, into our days, putting up boundaries, etc. So this first area is really powerful in terms of paying attention to what coaching tools resonate with you, because really coaching is just reminders. So you have the answer within. It's just all about finding some quiet so that we can tap into what our inner knowing is guiding us towards. And then for the next 4 steps, we begin introducing the coaching tools. We name them to remember them, and we begin practicing on each other. So you can experience this coaching school with me as your buddy. That's when we do one-on-one. So first, the student will coach me, which is always a good time, because then I take my dog for a walk and I'm just like, why do I feel so awesome today? And it's because I got coached a lot. And then we switch. I'll either critique or coach you. And that is for the next 4 steps. And then finally, it's all about building a business. So that's what encompasses coaching. Mama Bliss Coaching School. It's first coaching yourself, learning how to coach, the process, how to do live workshops, and finally how to start and grow your coaching business. And probably the most amazing part of the program, again, my family and I, it was about 3 years ago, we did a Pacific Northwest tour of the States, actually. So we went to like Seattle and Portland, Bainbridge Island. And I think I saw like about 6 of my graduates from my program. It was pretty funny because, like my family, I'm like, let's go camping. And so I made all these like reservation and camp spots. And almost every single time I would pull up to my friend's house and we would hug and greet, and then I'll come back to my family. I'm like, we think it'll just be easier if I just sleep over here and you guys can come pick me up in the morning. And so I think I just left at the tip 2 nights. Anyway, but it's just, again, probably the friendships I have formed. I started this like a long time ago. 6 years ago is when the first time the doors to Mama Bliss Coaching School opened. And even today, just recently, I have new students who said that they've been following me from like way back in the days when I had Miss Daisy or Milk Cow, and they're like, I've always was wanting to work with you. And so it's just a beautiful reminder that it's all about timing, and just put out, what you're really excited about, and you'll like attract just almost like your soulmates, but in a weird kind of sense. So I'm always excited to hop on discovery calls because often I'll hear, oh, I've been following you for a long time, or just feeling this connection. So it's just been really magical. The people who come to me, once even a celebrity came to me. I'm not going to say who. I'll tell you when we stop recording. But, it's just kind of like neat, Yeah. So just a great reminder of be grateful of the time we live in and the opportunities this provides us, and just an exciting time to really just embrace these new tools and old tools as well.
Yes, I love that. So awesome. Okay, so you have a free gift for us and for everybody. But before we dive into that, I want to make sure that everybody knows exactly where to find you in all the places. Can you give us your handles for social media?
Sure. It's pretty much Bliss Beyond Nap Time. Something happened on Instagram. I don't know if I signed up for 2 accounts by accident, but it's Blissed, past tense, Beyond Nap Time on Instagram. But if you Google Bliss Beyond Nap Time, you'll find me quite easily. Okay. And I'll take you to my website, and if you search Bliss Beyond Nap Time on Facebook, I'll take you to my Facebook page there. And yes, I do have a gift. If you want to check out my roadmap, you can head over to Bliss Beyond Nap Time /roadmap. And what that is if you are feeling called to support moms as well, because sweet baby Jesus knows moms need support, and coaching is a beautiful way to do it online. You can stay home, you could be with your family, and you can build a beautiful, fulfilling biz. The roadmap will take you step by step on how to build your own biz.
I love that. And I love that it's like so lined out in like an easy to follow roadmap too, because it can be really intimidating when you first get started, or you have just that like brand new like idea that you haven't brought into the world yet. That can be a scary time.
You just need someone there to hold your hand and remind you to breathe and do a little bit of
I love that. Yeah. If you have one tip as a closing tip for everybody, what is that one tip that you have for everybody today? It could be on anything.
Oh my God, there's so many tips. Just, like Rick Ansley, is his name? Rick Ansley, never going to give you up, never give up.
Yes.
Just, that's
yes, I love that you sang it too.
Yeah. Never give you up. Never give up. Just have that determination. Life stuff's going to come up. Honor when you need to hit the pause button, and embrace that as an incubation period. And just like if you need to take a break from your dream going aftering, just take a couple of days to recalibrate, and then stand up, get back up, dust yourself off, and take those next baby steps towards your dream every day, even if it's just lying there slack jaw envisioning it. That's taking a step towards it, but also take action. Never give up.
Yes, and I think that a lot of people don't consider baby steps progress, but they certainly are.
They add up. Yep, they definitely do. I'm reading my son Harry Potter right now, and my throat gets tired easy. So we only do a few pages, and I'm like, we're almost done. It's amazing just what a couple of pages every day lead up to. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, all right, everybody, keep taking your baby steps forward, and eventually you will get to your destination. It doesn't always have to be leaps and bounds, but thank you so much for coming on the show today and for sharing with us the Mama Bliss the Mama Bliss journey. If I could talk, I feel like so like ready to go conquer the world now that I've spoken with you, and ready to buy a cow.
I know, it was pretty magical.
Oh, yay. Well, thank you so much. And we will talk soon, you guys. Make sure you hop in, take full advantage of that amazing free gift that Kathy has put together for you guys, as well as giving her some love and follows over on social media. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you, Amie.
You bet. Talk soon.